Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Janelle Slade. The U.S. Senate race in Montana takes a new turn today.
Libertarian Rick Breckenridge drops out of the race and endorses Republican Matt Rosendale, in part because of what he and Rosendale call an illegal piece of campaign mail.
Breckenridge and Rosendale made the announcement in a joint teleconference this morning. Now, Breckenridge says he knows he cannot win the race against Democrat Jon Tester, so he's supporting Rosendale as the candidate in the race who can best advance the cause of liberty.
Rosendale's campaign then alleged that Tester supporters are the ones behind a new mailer that slams Rosendale and promotes Breckenridge as a true conservative. The source of that mailer is not identified. Rosendale calls it a dark money attack that's designed to siphon votes away from him to benefit Senator Tester. The Tester campaign says it had nothing to do with the mailer and goes on to condemn the use of dark money.
Now, Tester's campaign also points out that Rosendale has voted against attempts to regulate and disclose dark money campaign spending.
Earlier this week, we reported on the sources of campaign donations in the top two contests in Montana this year for U.S. Senate and U.S. House. But there's another even bigger piece of campaign spending in these contests, almost entirely in the Senate race.
MTN's Mike Dennison gives us a breakdown on the flood of money spent so far by outside political groups.
As of this week, outside groups have now spent more than $33 million on Montana's closely watched U.S. Senate contest, a new record for a single election here. Democratic incumbent Jon Tester's campaign has outraised Republican Matt Rosendale's campaign by $14 million. But conservative and Republican Party groups have spent almost $21 million on ads, mailers, and other activity this year to help even the playing field, supporting Rosendale or attacking Senator Tester. And that amount doesn't include the cost of President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence visiting the state a half dozen times to stump for Rosendale. Some of the big spenders on behalf of Rosendale include the National Republican Senatorial Committee at $4.7 million, Club for Growth Action, $3.7 million, the Republican Senate Leadership Fund, nearly $3 million, and a pair of PACs supported by Illinois billionaire donor Richard Uihlein, Restoration PAC and America's PAC, which have spent $3.7 million combined. All told, 22 separate groups have spent on behalf of Rosendale. But protester groups are not sitting on the sidelines. 18 of these groups have spent almost $13 million, primarily attacking Rosendale. They include the Democratic Party groups Senate Majority PAC and Majority Forward, who've spent a collective $6 million, environmental group the League of Conservation Voters at nearly $2 million, and a group called End Citizens United, whose goal is to oppose unlimited money in politics, but it spent $2.2 million to help Tester. Montana State University political scientist David Parker says while these groups are spending big, the monetary advantage probably still goes to Tester with his substantial campaign fund. That's because candidates' campaigns pay lower rates for broadcast ads, so their money goes further. Montana's U.S. House race between Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte and Democrat Kathleen Williams also has seen some outside spending, but only about $400,000, and most of that on behalf of Williams. And with just 6 days until the election, what money's left to be spent will be chasing those few undecided voters who may decide both these races. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Mike.
And you can read Mike Dennison's full report on outside spending in the congressional races at ktvq.com.
Well, Mike mentioned just 6 days to go until Election Day, and a new poll out shows just how close these top two races are. This poll from Gravis Marketing shows it's neck and neck in both the U.S. House and Senate races in Montana. In the House, a dead heat between incumbent Republican Greg Gianforte and Democrat Kathleen Williams, each with 48% support. 3% say they're still undecided. And in the Senate race, incumbent Jon Tester holds a 3% lead over Republican Matt Rosendale, 48% to 45%. And 32% of the 782 people polled say they have already voted. This poll, by the way, has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.5%. Gravis also asked about President Trump's performance in office, and it's really a tale of two extremes in Montana. 43% strongly approve, 33% of those polled strongly disapprove of the president's performance.
So far in Yellowstone County, more than 45,000 absentee ballots have been returned, and you still have time to get yours in. If you plan on sending your ballot by mail, you need to get it out tomorrow. That's Thursday, to ensure it's counted on Election Day. Starting Friday, you'll need to drop your ballot at your local election office, which you can do up until 8 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 6th.
The opioid epidemic has taken a tremendous toll across America, and American Indians have been particularly hard hit. Now, the Northern Cheyenne Tribe in Montana is fighting back, filing suit against companies that produce and distribute the pain medication.
Now, the tribe's lawsuit alleges the risk of addiction was misrepresented by those companies and that the opioid epidemic did not happen by accident. More than a dozen drug makers and distributors are named in the lawsuit. It claims companies have created a public nuisance, resulting in overdoses and death. The tribe says it has been hit with a financial burden to pay for treatment and other costs associated with opioid abuse. The tribe is seeking economical damages and a jury trial.
The Northern Cheyenne Tribe is now the second tribe to file suit against opioid companies.
The Blackfeet tribe filed a similar suit in August.
The man killed in a rollover crash on Interstate 90 Tuesday has been identified. 84-year-old Grant Miller of Crow Agency died when the vehicle he was a passenger in went off the side of the interstate near the Pryor Creek Road. Montana Highway Patrol says the driver overcorrected, going off the side of the interstate and rolling before the car came to a rest at a fence. Miller was transported by helicopter to the hospital, where he later died. The female driver of the vehicle suffered only minor injuries in the crash.
Visitors to Rimrock Mall will see a new shop pop up in Center Court starting Thursday, and this business is personal. Red Lodge entrepreneur Nicole O'Shea will bring her daily planner business, 6th and Baker, to Rimrock Mall for what will be its first physical location. 6th and Baker won the mall's Battle of the Pop-Up Shop contest. The prize is a rent-free 6-month stay in Rimrock's Center Court. 6th and Baker was born from O'Shea's journey to rebuild her life after her 2 youngest children were in an accident that brought up past trauma and pushed her life off track. Now, the pages in the planner are designed to help users maintain control of their lives and focus on organization and mindfulness and appreciation of life's daily blessings. O'Shea tells us that 6th and Baker has already sold out of its first order of planners, and she's excited for the opportunity to grow her business and tell her story in Rimrock Mall over the next 6 months.
Still to come on tonight's 5:30 news. It's finally here, a night of candy, superheroes, ghosts, and every Disney character imaginable. Yes, it's Halloween 2018. Coming up, a look at the fun in Billings.
And in sports, how are Rockies football guys so good so fast under Jason Petrino? Scott shows us.
And coming up in weather, we'll have your Halloween forecast coming your way. Plus, if your travel plans take you to the west, you're going to want to listen to our forecast. A lot of snow in the mountains. We'll tell you all about it in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.